Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today's video is going to be a story time. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and yeah, let's get into today's video. Okay, as you guys know the vibes, I'm always with a friend if I'm telling a story. So as always, I'm going to be drinking Benini over today's story time. Yeah, so let me take like a few sips before I start. This is an elite beverage, I'm telling you guys. Like it has a thing. But anyways, excuse me, let's not waste time. So for the purposes of this video, the people that are going to be on today's story time, the first person is Mike, who will be my boyfriend slash ex-boyfriend on this story time. And then other people, I'll just name them friend if it's friends, because I feel like there's no need for me to rename them except this particular person. So I'm someone who doesn't have a lot of followers on Instagram, and also that means I don't get a lot of DMs. So basically I can attend every DM I have and I know who DM'd me at which particular time. So last year I got this DM from this guy and we kept on talking, but it wasn't like anything much, you know, hi, hey, how are you, and all those things, until he asked for my number. And I was like, no, cut, I'm not giving you my number. I don't know, I just didn't feel like giving him my number. So weeks later, my friend calls me, she video calls me. So that Friday we're supposed to be drinking with her and her other friends, but I couldn't because I was writing that like the next day, which was a Saturday, I had a chemistry semester test. So she calls me, she's like, hey, how are you? I'm like, I'm good. She's like, how fundile ntwana? I'm like, yeah, I'm fundile. And then she's like, there's a guy here. I'm like, a guy? She's like, yeah, there's a guy here. He says he likes you, he's been talking to you on Instagram, you guys were talking fine until he asked for your number, of which you didn't give to him. I'm like, okay, give the guy the phone so I can talk with him right now on the video call. So I talk with the guy. He's like, hey, how are you? Are you good? I'm good. And he's like, okay, since you and I got this opportunity to talk on this video call, tomorrow after you're done writing, can I please meet you and take you out? I'm like, okay, cool, sharp. So the next day I write my exam, come back to my place. Later he's like, I'm outside. So fine, we meet. He's like, let's go to the mall. We went to the mall. So he was like, that day he's rushing. So what we can do is I can order a takeaway. Like I can order food, but make it a takeaway, whatever I'm ordering, because we can't have time to sit down and dine and whatever. So we went to Spur. I ordered what I ordered. We made it a takeaway, and he drove me back to my place. And then he was like, yeah, I'll see you next time when we can meet now for a proper date. So disclaimer, Mike was a soccer player. I'm not going to mention the team he was playing for, but I feel like it's quite obvious since I'm in Bloemfontein. And cut. Okay, like I said, Mike was a soccer player. That's all you guys need to know. So okay, cool, Shab. So he was gonna have a match that wasn't gonna be in Bloemfontein at that point, so they were gonna be traveling with his teammates. So he goes, he comes back. When he comes back, we go for a proper date, and then we went to watch a movie, and later we had dinner. And you know how you would always have assumptions about people based on their looks or the things they do for a living. So since he was a soccer player, I had many assumptions about him, like any normal person would have. So when we sat down and we were having dinner and we were discussing like a number of topics, I actually realized, okay, this guy is not bad and he's not what I actually assumed him to be. So he's really, I wouldn't say different, but he's different to what I expected. So I like that about him, and I like that we can have full-blown conversations. And yeah, and I was like very upfront to him about the person that I am and the things that I do. Like, I like having fun with my friends, I drink, all those things, because I always feel like I don't like it when I meet someone and then later when you start dating they start bringing those things up. So I always mention it before we even get into the relationship, you know, just for protocol. Yeah, we continued on going a few dates, but the thing is I was getting closer to my exams. So this other time he had a soccer match in Bloom, like he was going to be playing in Bloemfontein. And yeah, he gave me the tickets and he was like, I could also come with a friend. And I went to watch one of his games, and it was really nice. I enjoyed it. And then, so before I was gonna leave for Bloom, my friends and I, we had to go to Second Avenue, to the other venue, because two of these artists were gonna be performing, and it was gonna be our last time growing together for 2019 until I come back next year, which was gonna be 2020, which is this year. So okay, cool, Shab. We get to Second Avenue, like it's really nice, it's a vibe. We're in the general section watching everything live, you know. We always want to be at the front. And yeah, everything was good. So Mike calls me. I'm still at the other venue. He calls me, he's like, hey, how are you? I'm like, I'm good, how are you? And he's like, I'm good, I'm at Second Avenue. I'm like, oh, that's nice. And he's like, yeah, can I please see you? So I go greet him, and he's like, later I'm gonna come and see you again. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, no problem, you just call me. So I go back to my friends, it's so nice, whatever. The first artist, they finished performing, so he calls me after that time and he's like, can you please come this side? So he was at the VIP section, so I go to the VIP section to chill with him. So it's all nice, I'm drinking. He did drink, but occasionally, like a barely. So that day he was drinking water. Yes, baby, he was drinking water. So anyways, like everything is good. And then the second artist who was performing, I think, was something Soweto. So we watched that performance until people started fighting, and then we had to step back, Nyana, and not see the whole thing, because you know you can't be in those messy fights in the club. Okay, cool. And then when my friends were leaving, they came to me, they're like, are you leaving with Mike? I'm like, yeah, I'm leaving with Mike. They're like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm leaving with Mike. And then they talked to him and they told him if anything happens to me, they're gonna contact him directly and he's gonna be the one liable. And I was like, no guys, no need to worry about anything, nothing's gonna happen. So cool, I leave with Mike. We go to his place. So when you get there, he's like, before like you go to bed, I need us to talk. I'm like, okay, cool, what do you want us to talk about? And he asked me if I did have space in my life, and I was like, okay, first things first, I know you and I have been going on dates, but you've never like stated your intentions, you know. And I feel like I would need to know your intentions first before I can answer that question. And he told me that he was looking for a relationship, something very stable, and obviously he couldn't say it at the beginning because he still wanted to get to know me before he could decide if me and him could have like a relationship. I was like, yeah, you have space in my life. So yeah, went to bed. The next day I woke up, he dropped me off at my place, and we continued talking about our conversation from last night. And yeah, from then we were officially dating, because he did ask me to be his girlfriend, and I wasn't gonna assume that he wanted me to be his girlfriend without him saying it. So then I was leaving in a few days to go home, and he took me to the bus station, whatever, and then I went back home. And then when I was home, like the communication was still smooth. We're still talking and communicating, like phone calls, texting, video calls sometimes, you know, like everything was cool. January I come back to Bloemfontein. So when I come back, I think he had a knee injury or something like that, but he had an injury. So during those times he wasn't playing, he was still recovering from the injury he had. And the first time we saw each other, I think we went on a date to this other restaurant. Like everything was cool, it was nice. I was seeing my baby, you know, it was really nice. And yeah, and then later I went back to my place. Kept on seeing each other, like would go on a date probably, and yeah, or would like be at the club, both of us, but I would be with my friends, he'd be with his friends, and then later when he leaves I would leave with him, something like that. It was always like that. So now we're in February and it was his birth month, but the thing is I didn't have cash at that time because like it was the beginning of the semester, allowances are not out yet. So I wanted to do something, and I thought of actually taking him out for a movie and doing go-karting, which is what I could afford at the time. So yeah, his birthday came, which was on a Saturday, and like I said, he wasn't playing that day. So his team was playing, but he wasn't playing. So in the morning we went to go-karting, to do go-karting, and then afterwards we went to Mark and Bean for breakfast, and then yeah, later I think after like our breakfast date, he had to go and watch his teammates playing, and then later he was like he's gonna fetch me so we can go watch that movie. So I'm like, okay, cool. So later he comes and he fetches me. He's with his friends. Cool. And then the other friend was going to catch a bus home, so he took him to tourism center, and yeah, we waited for the bus. Since the bus was was delayed, we had to wait, and like time was vying when we were waiting because the movie was gonna start at 8. So by the time the bus came, the movie had already started, so we couldn't go for the movie. Okay, sharp, we go back to his place. When we get there, his other friend, Mike's friend, is like he needs to fetch his girlfriend, so can Mike please take him there? So Mike is like, babe, we're coming back, we're fetching my friend's girlfriend. I'm like, okay, cool. So when they leave me, they're leaving me with their other friend, and we're in like the sitting room and watching TV. Was the guy not watching soccer the entire time? Guys, I was just there like, I don't even know these people because I don't watch international football. Like local, yes, international football, no. So yo, I was so bored. My phone was battery low, and I was trying to save the battery that I had. I kept on trying to sleep, wake up. The guy didn't even care, guys. He didn't care if I liked soccer or if I didn't like soccer. So eventually, maybe after 2 hours, they came back, and I was so mad. And the friend was like, I'm really sorry, but my girlfriend was acting up. She didn't want to come here. I'm sorry you had to wait, because like Mike had to wait that whole entire time, me and my girl were arguing. I was like, okay. Although I didn't buy the story, but I was like, okay, cool. So we decided to go to the club. We went to the club, I think, yeah. And then after that, it was gonna be like some time before I could see him again, because like I said, he would always travel back and forth with the playing thing, and now his knee had healed. I think he was now starting to play again, so it was back to him traveling. And now things started getting rocky because he wasn't properly communicating with me. Like, okay, I get that you're on the road all the time, but communicate with me, talk to me, you know. And there were also times where I felt like he could make time to see me, but he didn't, and I was really like getting mad. And I'm someone that hates confronting people, especially about the things that they do to me, which don't make me happy or make me angry, or that make me sad, you know. I'm that someone. So my roommate was like, no dude, you have to talk to this guy, because it doesn't help you bottling things up, because Yena from his side, he might think that he's doing things right, so it's only fair that you tell him. So I tell him we need to talk when you come back. He comes back. The week when he came back, I was writing twice that week, on Friday and Saturday, but I was just like, I'm gonna make time to see my boyfriend, because you know he's still gonna travel and I probably won't see him for the longest time ever. So he came back, we went for dinner, and we were talking, everything was nice, and I told him how I feel about everything. I told him, number one, I'm not happy about your communication. 2, I don't like the fact that you don't give me attention and you don't make time for me. Thirdly, I don't appreciate you assuming that I'll be free whenever you are free or whenever you have time. You also have to know my schedule and how are things on my side. Don't just assume just because you are back and you're not busy, then I'm supposed to be free. It doesn't work that way. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm really sorry. I'll work on those things. I promise you I'll make it up to you. And I was like, oh, okay. And then we also discussed the fact that he wasn't going to be there on my birthday weekend because he had a match. I think somewhere in Pumalanga or something. So I was like, okay, it's cool, it was expected, I know you're always traveling, so it's cool, it's fine. And I was like, I'm gonna make it up to you when I come back. Fine. Maybe 4 or 5 days before my birthday, I can't get a hold of him on his phone. WhatsApp, nothing. One tick. His other number, one tick. Both his numbers, voicemail. Hi, I keep trying to reach him. He comes back maybe after 3 days. When he comes back, he's like, I'm really sorry, I lost my SIM card. Why are you, a grown adult, losing your SIM card? And what was it doing outside your phone? Make it make sense. And I was like, okay, cool, it's fine, it's whatever, man. And at that time, guys, I was stressed about my semester test. Another thing, I had talked to this guy about the way I feel, about the way he does certain things in the relationship, and he said he'll work on it. And instead of improving and working on those things, he got worse. And I was like, you know what, I'm really done, because I poured my whole heart out explaining to you how I feel about this whole thing, and you decided to do what you do. So that is clearly giving me a sign that you don't give a shit about me. So it's okay, you know, it's fine, I get it, it's fine. And right now I'm stressing about bigger things, which is school. So I was focusing on school and my semester test, and yeah. So he kept on mising me, ne? Even after my birthday. Okay, he did say happy birthday, but I didn't really care. Like, you know, those happy birthday, like whatever. He didn't even ask me how my day was that day. He only talked to me, I think, the next day. And I was like, okay, it's whatever. So he comes back, I think, and then when he comes back, I tell him, I'm like, we need to talk. At that time, I had enough. I wanted to call off the relationship. And he was like, yeah, we'll talk, but you can't come to me. Can I come to his place? I'm like, for what reason can't you come to my place? And then, like, he just kept on giving me silly excuses. And I was like, you know what, it's fine, whatever. And from my side, I had decided that, you know what, I'm over this guy, I'm done with this relationship, even though we didn't officially break up, but in my head, he's my ex. I'm moving on. And then Corona happened. I went home. I was home during the lockdown, and I mourned that relationship. I used to pray to God every single time. I used to listen to Janae. I did a lot of things just to make sure that I fully, you know, get over this person, and that I'm not carrying any negative energy, like hating him or resenting him. I just wanted to make sure that I heal, and that I'm not carrying any burden that I have from this relationship to the next one, which I'll have, you know. I just wanted to make sure. So yeah, I spent the whole entire lockdown, okay, not the entire lockdown, but a portion of it was just for me to heal and to make peace with the fact that the person that I loved, the person I tried to accommodate to my life and make sacrifices for, didn't feel the same way about me, and I should just accept it. And during that whole entire lockdown period, he didn't say anything to me. He never said hi, never said anything. He kept quiet. So obviously that relationship was over. So anyways, June, I come back to Bloem. So when he sees that I'm back in Bloemfontein from my stories, he's like, hey, are you in Bloem? I'm like, yeah, sure. He's like, I want to talk to you. I'm like, whatever, man. If you want to talk, okay, cool. And then I don't know what happened. I had like completely forgotten about it. So yesterday, I'm napping, because I always nap. Like, I always take naps in the afternoon. I get a phone call. I see the number. I'm like, this number looks familiar. Hey, how are you? I'm good. Oh, I'm also good. Where are you? I'm at my place. Okay, can I please see you? I'll call you when I'm outside. Okay, cool. So before I deleted this guy's number, He posted some girl. I think, when did I delete his number? I always had him on WhatsApp. Like, I never deleted his number. But I think a few days back, maybe 1, 2, 3 days back, I deleted his number. And before I did, he had posted this other girl and he put on in love emojis. And you know when you see a couple, you know when you see like siblings, you know the difference. You can tell. So okay, cool, sharp. He gets here, I go outside, I'm wearing my hoodie, leggings, sneakers. When I get there, he's like, we can't talk here, can you please go to the mall? Sharp, we go to the mall. Mind you, I'm wearing a hoodie, it's at night, I'm going to the mall. We get to the mall, and he's like, where should we go? So right now where we're standing, it's opposite Brazza. I'm like, let's go inside Brazza since we're here. We go inside, and then we sit down, and we order food. I was like, I think I ordered a burger and a Long Island cocktail, but I wasn't really up for the food. I just wanted the cocktail. So okay, cool, we sit down, like he has this, like we have this mini chit chat. He asked me about my YouTube channel, the phone, because I was now using a new phone, and all those things, how's school, how's Bloom, you know those small conversations that don't matter. I wasn't really interested because I wanted to find out why you are here, like, and why do you even have to drag me to the mall? What was the reason? So cool. We're sitting down, right? And then he's like, you said you wanted to talk. I was like, I said to you I wanted to talk in March. Now it's September. I don't want to talk. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. Why is that so? I'm like, make it make sense to me. You last talked to me in March. You're coming back in September. Do you still think after 5 months I feel the same way? I still want to talk. He's like, no, I get it. Like, I was really wrong on my side. I was like, yeah, you ghosted me, hey? You really did ghost me, and you're good at ghosting. He's like, no, I didn't ghost you. If I ghosted you, I wouldn't be here. I was like, is that supposed to make me feel special? Is it? Because it's a lie. You know, men lie unprovoked for no particular reason. Like, what the hell, bro? Why are you lying? The Long Island gets there. I'm sipping my Long Island game now because I want to hear Guti. Why am I here? That's the only thing I want to know. So he's like, I might be moving from Bloom. I'm like, okay. And I don't think long distance, but I'm like, he's like, yeah, okay. Don't you have any questions you want to ask me? And then I ask him, I'm like, the time you said you want me to be your girlfriend, whenever back then when it was, didn't you know that your life was going to be busy? Didn't you know that you're going to be busy? Why did you even have to waste my time and come into my life when you know you're going to be busy? Why? And then he was like, no, I didn't know. I was like, oh, okay, good. And then I'll continue sipping my Long Island. Now I want to know why you're here. And then he was like, the thing is, I feel like you should decide. I'm like, decide what? Like, this whole thing. I'm like, Haibo, you dragged me here to the mall because you know specifically what you want to talk about. If there's anyone who should say anything here, it's you. All I'm waiting for is you to say something, not me. I don't want to say anything. I want to hear what you have to say. Because firstly, in the first place, the one person that ruined everything was you. So if there's anyone who has to talk, it's you. And I was like, yo, you're putting me on the spot. I was like, okay, good. Now you're on the spot. Say it. I continue sipping my Long Island. Mokai is quiet. Time is vying. And I'm so mad. I'm like, why drag me to the mall if you don't know what you want to say? Say it. Like, loko funo gosho. I'm waiting for it. That's the only reason why I'm here. You guys, I was getting furious. A part of me at some stage just wanted to take that Long Island, throw it in his face so he can catch like a wake-up call, because what the hell. And then I'm sipping my Long Island. He calls the waiter. He pays. He's like, can you please have the food as takeaway? The waiter comes back with the food. He pays the waiter. And then I'm still sipping the Long Island. He's like, I think we should call it quits. I'm like, okay. Like, literally, I just said, okay. And then he was like, yeah, I think you deserve better, and better is not me. I'm like, okay. And in fact, I didn't say okay the second time when he said, I think you deserve better. I was like, and then I stood up. I finished my Long Island, and I was ready to buy. So during the entire way in the car, I wasn't talking. I wasn't saying anything. So when he got to the gate, he gives me the food. I'm like, no, keep the food. And then I opened the gate. I got inside. So when I get like to my room, he starts sending text messages. He's like, I'm really sorry. I hope you find it in your heart to forgive me, whatever. I didn't read the rest of them. I was just like, fuck this guy. So yeah, that's it for today's story time. You know, for me, like, I was actually so surprised that this guy thinks this entire 5, 6, or 7 months when he was gone, I was actually waiting for him. Like, it's his audacity for me that this girl was literally just waiting for me to come back from wherever I'm coming from without me even having to explain myself or do anything. She was literally just waiting for me. And I was like, hey, I'm a totalis being the guys. Men, if there's one thing men have, it's audacity. Bonke foot. If it's one thing they have, they all have audacity. I was like, what the? Because in my head, I thought we were both in the same space. Like, we had broken up. I thought if you wanted to talk about something, it was probably going to be a second chance or something like that. Not saying it's over. Dude, it was like over months ago. But anyways, guys, niwasabe amadoda, because those creatures. In fact, I don't have anything more to say. So I hope that you guys did enjoy today's story time. I'll be back with another video, which I think will be a makeup tutorial. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time.